Hello everyone and welcome back to another predictions video on the channel. Yes, today I'm going to be predicting the scores of the final weekend of this 2024-2025 EFL Championship season. Last night, Leeds United brushed aside the Wurzels Bristol City in a 4-0 victory, and it puts them neck and neck on points with Burnley at the top of the table. In terms of the playoff picture, Bristol City, Coventry, Millwall, Blackburn and Middlesbrough are all vying for the two positions of 5th and 6th, with both Sheffield United and Sunderland already booking their places in the playoffs. At the bottom end of the table though, it's absolute carnage. Cardiff City are already relegated after that draw last weekend. Plymouth, it looks all over for them. They'd have to have a massive swing of goals in their fixture against Leeds. Leeds of course going for the title, so it's down to Hull City, Luton, Preston, Derby and Stoke for that final relegation spot of 22nd. And it's looking really precarious for me for Preston, who've lost their last 4 matches. But in terms of the predictions, well, top scorer last week in the predictions with 20.5 points was Alex Cochrane, and Alex came away with 3 perfect scores as well. And familiar names of summer of 2018 on 15 points, and Daddy Cole 52 on 14.5 points, along with Rhino. In terms of the overall leaderboard though, it looks like KP21X will be winning the title this season, although Alex could possibly catch KP21X with a phenomenal predictions round and the final day of the season. So on to the predictions, and this is game round 46, and all these fixtures or these matches take place on Saturday 3rd of May at 12:30. Probably all live on the red button on Sky in the UK as well. First up we got Bristol City coming up against Preston North End, and as I said, Bristol City losing 4-0 on Monday evening against Leeds. And Preston, look at their form, absolutely terrible. A month ago you could say Preston fans were probably looking forward to another season in the Championship, but they're really looking down the barrel of the gun, losing against Plymouth last weekend, and prior to that it was a loss against Hull, both relegation candidates themselves. In this one, Bristol City themselves could really do with a win to cement their place in the playoffs at the end of the season, and I think they're going to do it. I think it's going to be precarious for Preston, and I think they're going to be hoping that the likes of Hull City and Luton lose on the weekend for them to remain in the Championship next season. And I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to the Wurzels, and it'll be absolute pandemonium there at Ashton Gate. Next up we move to Turf Moor, where Burnley take on Millwall. Millwall themselves in 7th position. Look at that, 5 wins in their last 6 matches, and a real important win against Swansea last weekend as well. Burnley, of course, on 97 points along with Leeds. I think this is going to be tight, it's going to be nervous. Millwall take a good away following up to Burnley. Long way up there to Burnley though. Burnley last weekend 5-0 drubbing of QPR, and I think this one's going to be tight, but I think they'll come through 1-0, which probably won't be enough for them to land the title, but they're in the Premier League anyway next season. We then move to the Ricoh Arena, where another huge game between Coventry and Middlesbrough. You'd have to fancy Coventry as home, because Middlesbrough only 1 win in their last 5 matches, but look at that, it's 2 wins in the last 5 for Coventry, back-to-back defeats, a reverse against Luton last time out, where they had a player sent off, was it De Silva, really early in that fixture against Luton, and it was always an uphill battle, but it evened itself out later on in that match, and it was just 10 against 10 in the end, but they couldn't find a way through that Luton Town rearguard. And as for Middlesbrough, a draw against Norwich, who had nothing to play for, and prior to that it was a 2-1 loss against Sheffield Wednesday. You'd have to favour Coventry in this one. It could end up in a draw, but I think Coventry are going to nick this, and I'm going to go for a very nervy 2-1, which will send the fans of Coventry into elation, because they're going to be chewing their fingers or their fingernails on Saturday afternoon. Next up, we move to Pride Park, where Derby take on Stoke City, and Stoke still could go down here. Derby have been great in their last 2 matches. A brilliant win against Hull City, which was a follow-up to a very good win against West Brom, which was away from home as well. Whereas Stoke losing against Sheffield United, okay, probably to be expected, 2-0, and Leeds as well. So they're going to have to bounce back here. And I think this could end up in a draw. It could be, you know what, Derby at home, that place is going to be rocking. And I'm going to go for a 1-0 home win to Derby. Everything to play for in this fixture. We then move to Carrow Road, where there's nothing to play for here apart from pride. Cardiff, look at that, 5 draws in their last 7 matches, and that's really been their undoing this season. It's not the losses, it's been the draws that's put them down into Division 1. Not enough wins for the Bluebirds. And Norwich, they just want to get away on holiday. Knights of Science and Josh Sargent being named in the Player of the Year team this season. A draw last time against Middlesbrough. This one's got probably draw written all over it. Cardiff really should have won that match. Could have won that match against West Brom last weekend, where they had balls being saved, ping-ponging, they had a goal disallowed and hitting the post. But West Brom hit the post as well, and however made a couple of good saves in goals for the Bluebirds as well. So I have to go for a draw in this one. I'm going to have to go for a 1-1 scoreline. The story of Cardiff's season, probably Norwich's as well. Next up, we've got Plymouth against Leeds. Plymouth would have to win this one about 8-9-0. Leeds, they win this, or even a draw if Burnley draw against Millwall. But this is going to be great atmosphere. Plymouth, you've got realistically going to say that are down, and I'm going to go for a 3-0 home win, away win for Leeds United. They've been fantastic in their last 5 matches. We then move to Fratton Park, where Portsmouth, who are already safe, drawing last weekend, and it's 4 matches now without defeat. Sheffield Wednesday 1-1 last weekend, and Hull City, a loss against Derby. They really need to win here, but I think it's going to end up in a draw, and I'm going to go for a high scoring 2-2 scoreline, which may send Hull City down. Bramall Lane next, where Sheffield United, the Blades, take on Blackburn Rovers, and Blackburn Rovers got an outside chance of the playoffs. They've been fantastic in their last 4 matches, beating Watford 2-1, and that was a follow-up to a 1-0 win against the Black Cats of Sunderland. Sheffield United, a 2-0 victory in Stoke. They're already confirmed in the playoffs. Can Blackburn win this one? Tough one to call, this one. The Blades fans really want a victory in this match. Sheffield United don't really draw that many fixtures either, or games. I think they've only drawn something like 7 this season, which is the lowest of any team in the Championship. This could go either way. I think Blackburn will nick this one, because Sheffield United are already confirmed in the playoffs. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 away win to Blackburn Rovers, and that probably goes against the odds, but I think they'll do it. That could even see them in the playoffs, but we'll see what happens at the end of 90 minutes. Next up, we move to the Stadium Light, North East, another team who've already cemented themselves in the playoffs. QPR, just a 1 win in the last 4 and defeat 5-0 against Burnley last time out. They'll be in the Championship next season. Sunderland already in the playoffs. This could end up, but look at that, 4 defeats on the trot for Sunderland. They want to give their fans something to shout about, and those players want to be involved in the playoff picture as well. So I'm going to go for a draw on this one. I think it'll end up 1-1. Next we move to the Swansea.com Stadium, where Swansea take on Oxford, and Swansea, apart from that defeat last weekend, have had a real good end to the season. Defeat against Millwall last time out, and Oxford United an excellent 2-0 victory against Sunderland, and they'll be really pleased that they'll be playing their football in the Championship for another season next year. In this one, I think the Jacks will want to give their fans something to shout about and go home happy on the weekend. Oxford I've watched them play, and I have not been impressed with them, particularly away from home. At home, it's been a different story. They've been great, but away from home, not very good at all. So I'm going to have to go for a home win to the Jacks. I'm going to go for a 2-0 home victory. Next up, we move to Vicarage Road, where again, nothing on this fixture. Watford losing 5 of their last 6 matches, and Sheffield Wednesday just a 1 win in the last 7, which is the same for Watford. And I think this one's going to end up in a draw. I'm going to go for a 1-1 scoreline. And the final fixture of this game round sees West Brom taking on Luton. Luton need to win this one to have any chance of staying up. And West Brom could have beaten Cardiff. Their goalkeeper made some fantastic saves last weekend, but they'll want to give their fans something to shout about. And a lot of their fans aren't happy with how their season's gone. I think they were expecting to get in the playoffs. Draw against Cardiff City last time out. Luton 3 wins on the bounce, and I think they're going to win here. I think West Brom will score because they are at home, but I think Luton will take all 3 points in a 2-1 away win. So those are my predictions for game around 46. Make sure you leave your predictions over at the Superbru website or as a comment below. It's been a fantastic season as usual in the Championship. And there's still all to play for at the top and the bottom of the table as well, going into the final weekend. Hope you've enjoyed the videos this season. Hopefully I'll be able to get out predictions for the playoffs and the playoff final as well, which will come up soon on the channel. Enjoy the football on the weekend. Hopefully your team wins as well. And I'll see you all in the next video.